are have gotten themselves to in their push. They're not yet into the triple building. This would be a shame if they spent all that time and effort getting this base only to lose it again in 90 seconds.
And the triple cap point hold by Connery, sorry, by Emerald against Connery continues. A big push on Bravo capture point by Connery. You've got air support, they're just not quite getting to the point, and this is just one capture point.
Connery has the people to take this point. It's just a matter if they can get past the choke points and the rockets and the explosions at Sungray West.
And it's the same thing going on at the Ascent. They've got 50% population, 50% population. Oh wow, that's a lot of... oh my goodness. Emerald Air Force, lots of scythes in the sky, and my minimap just lit up. But in terms of the ground situation, they've got 50%. Surely they'll be able to swamp at least one capture point, control it, and then move on and cycle round in a circle. But it seems they're focusing on the B point, and they simply can't get it. In fact, they're being repulsed.
20 seconds here at Sungray West. Oh, the TR maybe they're pushing up the stairs. This is off.
Air battle over the Ascent.
7 seconds, 6 seconds. Oh, that was down to maybe 2 seconds on my ticker at Sungray West. And it took a phenomenal number of Connery guys to get here. And again, 4 minutes to resecure the base now.
Where was that air fight going on? Here we go.
Speaking of deja vu, places I left thought were secured. McCulloch mining falls in less than a minute, and I don't think there's that many people
there. Is an significantly large Vanu Air Force over the Ascent. They smell blood. Connery, while I was away checking the base, has managed... They realized they couldn't get B, but they've taken Charlie and Alpha Point. And they're beginning to save the base, but there's such a huge air presence over the Ascent at the moment.
I know that that Emerald has a harasser outfit, and I'm going to assume that the people at McCulloch Mining who just capped it, there's only 3 harassers that I see here who just capped McCulloch Mining, are Ukes, their harasser main outfit. They're again pulled some harassers, and they are headed into, or no, they're actually not headed into the tech plant, but McCulloch Tech Plant is now under threat because McCulloch Mining has fallen. So there are many problems that Emerald has caused for Connery here, and there's just even more fires that they're going to have to put out.
Some valiant mosquito action from Connery pilots, but there's just far too many Liberators and Scythes for Emerald in the sky. And they're beginning to apply that Air Force to the Connery guys on the ground. Oh, deployed Sunder.
We need to give a time call out as well. We actually forgot about that.
Oh, right. Yep. No, I'll do that in 20 seconds.
I don't believe there is enough time remaining for Connery to come back and even this up. They need to start choosing what they want to save and, where they want to make their last stand.
Sure. Because they're losing Sungray Hub again as well. And Sungray West may have been saved, so the guys from Sungray West probably go to Sungray Hub. The Ascent, they can still save this, but it's down to 2 minutes again. That's me just calling out there's 18 minutes left in the game, guys. Or you can see that on the stream in the top right hand corner. Oh wow, and Emerald is grabbing the 3rd capture point. The numbers are actually 55 to 45. TR outnumbers at the Ascent, yet they've got all 3 capture points. This is going to go in 30 seconds. Getting 2 capture points in 30 seconds? That isn't going to happen. Big push on B on Bravo Point, and Connery is hitting it really hard, but they left no one to defend C Point. Even if they get this, it's game over. Man. Right, so they still don't have it yet. There's lots of counter grenading. Finally, they got B point. Have they got anyone going for A? Have they got anyone for going for C? Does not look like it. They're going to lose it just by a final desperate push, going in for the alpha capture point. They need to get there in the next 19 seconds. Does not look like that's going to be allowed in very narrow choke points. Emerald forces are waiting for them. They just need to hold on for 13 seconds. Oh, C's flipping on the 3 second. No, it's going back on the 1 second marker at Charlie. Charlie is rotating. Both points have won. Charlie is the mega contention. It is 1 second to go. If Connery, Connery's lost the capture point. 1 second to go for the C capture point.
That was, again,
razor close.
And it's flipping back, and it won't matter here.
Oh, well, this is, the light assault was on the upper balcony. It's too hard to call. The alpha capture point is firmly defended with the cavern. The B capture point, you don't have any spawns and can't get to. The C point is where it's all at. The Air Force from Connery, I don't see it. The Air Force of Emerald could maybe help because of the doorways, but it's just been mega zerged. So C now is in the hands of Connery, and I wonder if this is the beginning of the, the save, like the proper save, because it's still super close.
So I'm down here at Barrack Electrical Station, which has a large force of a Connery TR, which is trying to take it, but there is an equally large, if not larger, force of Emerald VS, which are trying to take Raven's Landing. So this now you run into that problem of, okay, you can't take anyone, Connery can't take anyone away from the Ascent, or else they lose it, and yet they're losing Raven's Landing. They now need more forces than they have to go put out these little spot fires. They're losing Black Shard Tungsten Mine, probably to the same group of harassers that were up there before. They have managed to finally secure their amp station. I would start sending people to McCullough Cart Mining, secure your tech plant. Start making sure that the big stuff that you have left can't get lost, and start trying to make what pushes you can in the last few minutes here. In about 4 minutes, you'll need to make another all call.
Okay.
This is, again, one of this is now the second time I've seen Connery Air using itself to try and stop an infantry push down at Barrack Electrical. They didn't wipe out everybody, but they killed a couple people who were coming across here. We're going to see if that helps out their guys on the ground. This is TDFN, who's trying to push in. I'm trying to see who's trying to hold. This is DPSO Band and Wybach. Again, so it's the same group of TR down here as it's been for a while.
What's this fight's not going to do? Nice counterflank. He's been spotted going further down. Oh, he's on the jump pad. He's having a hard time.
The push that just tried to take Barrack Electrical Station included a Zoe Max. I have no idea why you'd use a Zoe Max in this situation, or at all, frankly, but he did, and was taken out. There's small groups trickling in trying to kick these TR off the point.
Oh wow, okay, sorry. While I was being kind of obsessed with that light assault, the Emerald set himself asunder up and he's pushed himself back onto the Charlie capture point. He's got himself the Bravo capture point. Ooh, too far. Sorry about the whiplash there. Try and take it a little bit slower. And they've got themselves set up fairly convincingly in the B. They've got the Sunder underneath the bridge coming up from the Raven's Landing. I wonder if they're beginning to... Some of them are actually beginning to push into A, but it looks like they're losing at the C capture point.
So kind of reversal of stories down here at Barrack Electrical. For the longest time during this game, it was the VS trying to push in, get this point, and getting wiped out at the last possible second by the TR. Well, the same outfits have decided to say, we're going to show you what it felt like, and ARCs just kicked the group that was down here off of the point in the last couple of seconds. They managed to push a bunch of Maxes and Heavies down, throw some grenades, and kick them off the point.
Well, at the Ascent, Connery captured Charlie, but they lost Alpha. And now they've the difficult situation of, do they push for Alpha in the cave, or do they push for B outside that's exposed with some Connery, some Emerald Air Force? And it looks like actually Emerald is bringing an additional spawn sunder on the other side of the cave. With 25 seconds to go, it looks like the main push by the TR for Connery is going to be for the cave, perhaps, from what my minimap tells me. I think they're going to pull off. I think they're going to finally lose the base. This huge air's been pulled to cover the Bravo capture point.
Raven's Landing outside of a miracle of these Maxes running in here is going to be lost to Emerald. Yes, Raven's Landing, that's Haya, was the dominant outfit here who captured Raven's Landing. So all that huge amount of fighting at the Ascent means that they have now lost both connections to the Ascent, so they hold
the Ascent's lost anyway as well, so I mean it's totally been locked out. Now we did miss, and it'll be interesting to see the stats when this happened, but Araxis Firearms Corp was taken back by Connery. I missed that entirely, so I apologize.
Oh, I did as well, yes.
So we've got one other little graph that we can bring up and we'll have a quick look.
Is it time? Yeah, it's you need to make an all call.
Oh yeah, 1 sec. Alright, that's the 10-minute call. Let's see, map timeline, here we go. It's not super pretty, guys, so I apologize. We're going to clean this up. Let's see, large outpost, the Ascent, large.
And Sungray West was lost yet again, and now Sungray Amp Station technically still could be capped in that amount of time. Going down to Tumas Cargo Facility, where seems to be a slight push by Connery.
Oh, we'll come back to there. We're just looking at the timeline. It gives an idea of what bases flipped and when they happened, but at the moment it's showing defenses and saves. We want it just to show kind of offensive captures. We'll come back to that another time.
Well, the base hasn't, the physical base buildings are not loaded yet for me at Tumas Cargo, but there is an insane amount of armor from Emerald down here. I see Lightnings, I see a couple of Mag Riders, Galaxies on top. It looks like they just wiped out whoever was holding the point here at Tumas Cargo.
You can see that on the minimap. There's a massive number going on.
So I didn't get down here in time. I apologize for that.
Alright, well, looks like a save. It'd be very... It doesn't look like they're going to be able to pull that off. Barrack Electrical, doesn't look anyone's there. Rex Farm's got numbers. It looks like small force at Raven's Landing. The Ascent force is just basically cleaned up. That's properly been saved. Black Shard Tungsten Mines, where it's at now. Although the capture point is being flipped back into... Oh, load map. Load for me. Load. Come on, here we go. So the point was being temporarily contested, but now it's back in the hands of the attacking Emerald Force. Connery has got 2 minutes to save Black Shard Tungsten Mine.
Is flipping. That might just be one person. Let me go and take a look at this. Oh, they just pulled a Galaxy here. That is an interesting move. I think they dropped 1 or 2 people here. Are pulling a Galaxy for squad spawn capability. They flipped the point. I don't see if there's nobody down at the vehicle terms yet, but this is not a large force at McCullough. This is just a harassment group at the moment.
Oh, we're filling a Valkyrie. It's being chased. Oh, the Valkyrie was going after a downed Liberator, but it's been chased by a Mosquito. Do you have a gunner? Are you turning back in on it? Or is it just a single guy? No, he's got a gun. Oh, nice! Oh, that was beautiful. Just to tell you, Redland, the Valkyrie just literally was being chased by a Mosquito, turned around back onto the Liberator, and just rammed it in the face. Got 3 kills. Valiant suicide. I've been following people all day today, and that was a nice suicide. I wouldn't call it a Bob thing, but it was pretty impressive.
I think the only thing I've seen is, or I've heard you say, is the anti-Bob, the show up with the Sunder without the AMS.
Yeah, it was...
Recursion is the only tag I see here. Recursion and...
Oh, they've dropped in the point behind the Vanu forces. They're getting the capture point back. Sorry, go ahead.
Recursion and Bade are trying to push... oh, never mind, they came behind. I'm at Blackshard Tungsten Mine, so the TR are trying to resecure this push towards their warp gate that I did not
get. Did you say LA was?
Bella Maternus Bade.
Yes, those are the guys that came in from behind and took the capture point and saved the base.
Nice.
Oh, but they've decided to leave the building, and that's a lot of PPA spam.
And Sungray Amp Station falls in under a minute.
And they got 60% population. Wow.
It does seem like deja vu, doesn't it? I mean, it seems like
Connery's just slowly being creeped upon.
Yes. Really.
Tumas cargo facility, dude. Have you seen that? 40 seconds.
I have not. I will head down there.
I'm there now myself.
Okay, I'll stay at Sungray.
Oh, they're being counter-pressured. Just noticed that in the corner of my eye. The fact, really? They're actually capturing it. 20 seconds to go, 15 seconds. Light assault on the point for Emerald. And the final push, that last 10 seconds. So that's the last toughest part.
Do you know who those outfits were who made the push or who rolled them?
The save, no, I didn't see the tags, unfortunately, before they all died.
2 minutes 57 seconds for Sungray Amp Station. C point is owned by the TR, the other two are owned by VS, and actually VS is trying to get themselves C as well. There's a decent little defense going on inside there. I don't think that's going to happen without a big push, but they don't really need it. They can just tick this away unless Connery sends a significant force here to help.
The thing is, right now, the number-wise, they're slightly at population on Sungray because they're trying defending Araxis Firearms, and they're also trying to take, with a lot of people, 2448 Barrack Electrical Station. So
in
it's like
30 seconds, you need to make a call.
Oh, roger that. 5 minutes. Oh, it's yeah, I'll give a 4-minute call here.
So just to refresh everyone, there is no overtime, and this works exactly like an alert. If you are 1 second away from capping a base when the time is called, it does not count towards the end. Basically, it is whatever the territory graph is at the time that it is called.
And if we check the stats on screen, which I've been leaving open, I'll just take down the main ones. The main ones, we've got so far to date 23. Oh, I've just gone beyond the thing. I'll wait.
The amp station is down to 30 seconds. They've lost. Yeah,
we're on the amp station now. It's the B point is being contested. No,
yes,
this. Oh, it's hard to say. The capture points go a lot longer.
TR is back on B, but that does not save the base, and there is as much Emerald Air as I've seen at the amp station here. 45 seconds. They own 2 points. I don't think there's anyone redeploying here for Connery. I don't know that they're sending anyone to come save this. Well, it's 50-50. Maybe they sent everyone.
It's not. I don't see anyone at A. And if I have a look at Charlie...
Did you make the all call?
No, I'll do it in 3-minute mark in 2 seconds.
Okay.
Oh, big push on Charlie. I think they'll make a final save, but only just.
Got it.
Generator destroyed.
Well, it's a big kind of push on the Charlie capture point, and they've got it. So, they've got 2 out of 3. They've managed to stop the cap. I guess this is, we know that Connery can't come back with such a large deficit. I mean, it's 59-38 at the moment, but they're saving face now, right? They don't want to lose all their major facilities, or they don't want to lose more than Moss Ravine 1 second capture save. You see that in the north.
Yeah, I'm going to drag Justicia up here so he can help end the match for us. Justicia, our referee, is now in the channel with us as well to help officiate the end so that we can get exactly the correct score when everything ends here.
Perfect.
It looks like it's a very last second save at Moss Ravine. Sungry Amp is flipping back. The timer's going the other way. Looks like Emerald's Air Force is here. I think they can smell blood in the next 2 minutes. If they get the point, they might be able to capture this base. No other base can be captured in the timer allowed. So this is the only base that realistically can swap. And with a minute to go,
try and take on two,
what I wouldn't recommend this, with a minute 30 to go and a minute for this base, I just send everyone I have to Sungry Amp Station. Just send all 288 people.
It looks like that is certainly what Emerald is doing. I just saw 2 galaxies come in with people. They're pushing for B. I don't see anyone at C yet. And now they outpop here by 56%.
And the Air Force is here. Can they get Charlie Point? Are they actually pushing the point, or do they realize that they don't need to? They can just hold the other 2. But there's no point pushing C. You just hold B and A, and that'll be enough.
We need to make a 1-minute call.
It's done.
Okay. So this right here is the final thing. If I were Connor, I would just send everyone here.
On 15 seconds, I don't know if Connery could make this. There's just the B point is so hard to take, and the A point is being covered by Air Force. Although, was that a galaxy drop?
It
is a gal drop at the last second. Who is this? RHAC?
That is Araxian Globetrotters.
Oh, but they are being bombed into oblivion, and Division takes the priority. And that's 20 seconds to go, because they also took the Charlie point that we totally missed there. Okay, and they've cut off Sungry Power Hub, and I think that's our final thing. Nothing else can be done in the next 8 seconds, so that is it. 61 to 37. Right, I'm going to call out in a few seconds.
Generator stabilized.
That is correct.
All right.
Wow. So I guess before the stats kind of go a little bit wonky here, that was an interesting 24,688 kills. And there was a 2,000 advantage to Emerald. They're on 13,500 and Connery's on 11,000.
If you want, Farah, I've got some interesting stats of vehicles. If you want to hear them.
I think we'll maybe publish them a little bit later, after the battle. Redland, why don't you go grab some our reps for the post-match interview?
And I have been told that if we want to see a laser light show, we should go to the Ascent.
Okay. Any part of the Ascent?
I just was told the Ascent.
They will bring a massive Valkyrie
northwestern
stream.
side of the Ascent. Look towards the warp gate.
What side of the Ascent?
Justicia, if you could do an all-call asking the Force leads to come up to the interview channel again.
Sure. This is Justicia all call. Can the Force leads reps please go to the interview channel? Thank you.
I'm at the Ascent, mate. Where'd you say it was?
They're going to be coming from the warp gate.
Northwest.
Okay.
Check your fire, I'm on your side!
And we'll be getting the post-game interview set up here. Why don't you go over some of those statistics, Farah?
Oh, well, okay, so our top player, I'll just refresh this. Not as deadly as the Hossen one, which is perhaps more infantry based, but 158 kills was Service-Mash VS 565, so we'll find out who that was. The top TR one in second place was 155 kills, KDs of 3 and 3.5, a couple of TKs. Let me bring those stats up for you.
Just a second, I'll need to do another all call regarding the characters.
Okay.
This is Justician all call again. A reminder for you guys not to delete any characters, and if there are any problems with your accounts, please report to your server rep. Thank you. That was it.
Yeah, in terms of most productive outfit, it's hard to say how many people they brought, but by and far, Division outperformed everyone else. And is that because they had double the numbers? I can't say for Connery. If they had 24 people compared to everyone else's 12 allocation for Emerald, it's hard to say, but they certainly performed fairly well. But with a KD ratio of 1.3, I'm guessing it's hard to say whether they were extremely active or they just had a lot of people. Then came Recursion, and then it was the same kind of type outfits as you go down. Goku came 6th. And they had a KD ratio of basically 1. So whether much you read much into it on KD ratio is because you're fighting for objectives rather than for kills.
I don't know what you're doing right now, Farah, but your Valkyrie party is about to arrive in about 20 seconds, and my FPS is at 1, so you'll see what's going on.
Okay. And if we're looking at the top weapons, the Orion by far outnumbers everything else.
All right. Let's move up into the interview channel while you continue to watch the Laser Light Show. So if you are in this channel with me and are a server rep or a force lead, please move up to the interview channel with us. All right. Well, while we are watching the Laser Light Show at the Ascent, I just want to say congratulations, Emerald, and good game, Connery. Do we have a force lead from both Emerald and Connery in the channel right now?
Emerald's force lead is here.
And I see Talron here. Okay, so
his voice.
Oh, okay. All right, so everyone should have talk power. Let's go ahead and start with Emerald. Emerald, tell us, what was your strategy, and how do you think your strategy worked out?
Well, we went, like I said, we were going to play aggressive. We went all in the north side. We knew NC Arsenal was a fairly large stronghold that if we had that, we wouldn't allow it to fall. And we knew we had Bastion for the center. Our air guys had requested we push the center, so in the beginning, that's what we did. We pushed center really hard. We sent some people down to the south side to try and grab Tumos as a FOP, and that ended up succeeding. The center was probably the biggest debacle for us the entire match. Only up until the end did we take it, so it was that's what tied us up a lot. People on our guys on the north did a fantastic job. Having NC Arsenal is just such a benefit. I have to give props to Connery for holding the Ascent and Raven's Landing as long as they did. I mean, that was really well done. It really screwed us up in the beginning. We planned on trying to have both of those on lock right at the start, but we ended up having to try and push several times to try and take it. Once we realized we weren't able to right away, we started moving around the middle and kind of trying to get them to misallocate their forces. I figured that they would continue to send as much people as they possibly could to the Ascent or the middle when they could. So that was our plan, and it seemed like it worked.
Do you feel like there was what do you think the worst part of the match was for you? Was there a part where you were kind of scared as to what was happening, or did everything seem to go swimmingly for you?
Like I said, right in the beginning, when we didn't get the middle and when things were kind of not doing so well in the center of the map, I was kind of worried for our air. I know that our air guys were having a lot of trouble trying to deal with their air as well, getting wiped a few times. Eventually they adapted and they were able to push back onto the center, and that was basically the time when I was worried. I thought that we weren't going to have the middle for the entire game, which honestly we didn't up until the end.
And I'll come back to the air in a little bit. Connery, force lead Talron. How do you feel that your plan was executed, and what did you have to do? It seemed like at the beginning you were really on your back foot. What were you trying to push for at the beginning?
Yeah.
And what went right? What didn't go right?
Yeah, I think we had a really sloppy start from Connery at start. We had a lot of talk about our opening strategy, which was our primary focus on the center. For whatever reason, that got delayed, that got held up. Emerald did a good job at slowing us down, but we did have success at Raven's Landing and Lithcorp eventually, and then the Ascent. That was a nice rally point for the guys as we wanted to contain central control with air support. I think after that was covered, the north was left wide open, and we didn't have enough forces to slow down Emerald there, so they had a nice push towards Sungray. Um, the south went to shit as well, unfortunately, for one of the platoons. I feel that they were left without reinforcements as we pushed upon the middle ground there. The south and the north were not able to be held, so unfortunately, as best I could to redirect forces, Emerald had a nice coordinated push where they would have nice spawn points galaxies up at all times and really pushed well on the south and the north lanes. Eventually, we tried to overcompensate for the north and the south, which led Emerald at the end, I guess, with low morale to take the ascent and take Lithcorp Central, Raven's Landing.
Now, one of the things that Farah and I definitely noticed was you were really kind of on the back foot, maybe say the first 10, 15 minutes, and something changed. After you lost a bunch of bases, both north and south, suddenly you were making pushes again. Did you change something in your force makeup there? Did you just change where your people were pushing, or was it just kind of a wake-up call after the opening?
I think it was both. I think it was a wake-up call. I tried to motivate the guys over force lead platoon, as well as dedicated areas that each platoon was responsible for. There was a good containment. The first 30 minutes, 40 minutes, it was about 52-48 for Emerald for territory control. So I was okay with that as long as we were containing around the same kind of percentage-wise. But for whatever reason, they overcompensated to one point north, and they pushed very well. And I think our forces got a little bit tied up, a little bit confused, which enabled Emerald to hit from multiple areas, from multiple lanes, which they did a really good job doing.
Now, would you say that there was a point in the match where you can point to and say things got away from you?
Yeah.
Was there a point that you thought up until that point, you could actually make some pushes, and then everything just kind of goes?
I was happy with containing the middle. That was huge. Lithcorp Ascent was vital for the success. I was content with Sungray. I was content with RC Arsenal being a good fight and having hopefully containment around NC Arsenal and Aruxic Hub Network Hub. What I was really disappointed was.
Sorry to interrupt. Can I just talk you 1 second?
What's the matter, Farah?
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay. What I was disappointed was our opening start. I just believe it was a little bit sloppy. I don't know. I need to talk to my platoon and squad leaders about what happened. But the south was a little bit disappointing. Emerald did a nice job containing Barrack Electrical Station and getting the hack on Tumas Tech Plant. I was really counting on the south to be enabled to be captured from Connery so we could push upon the south lanes and get pressure on the Wokup Am Station and Hyoka, but that never happened. So I had to always contain my forces around the Ascent, Lithcorp, Raven's Landing, and contain forces around Sungray, which enabled me to be pretty much paralyzed for the next hour of the match. Despite our error, I think they did a fantastic job at what they did. Connery's error. Emerald was able to adapt pretty well and have waves and waves of air consistently harassing. I think at the start we did have complete air control, which did enable us to have the central, but the wear and tear of keeping air up and overcompensating for the north and south really limited our availability to use our strategy.
Well, I see that the air lead for Connery is in here. I was wondering if the air lead from Emerald is around and might be able to talk at length about that. Is the air lead from Emerald around and could be drug up here?
Let me find him.
Okay, so I'll start with Ironroids, who was the air lead for Connery. How do you feel that the match went in the air? We had some trouble finding the fights that you had between each other. We made an effort for it, and we still only found a group of Connery, then a group of Emerald. But did it go well? Did you feel like you had air dominance, or were you constantly fighting the whole time?
It was constant fighting pretty much throughout the entire match. The first hour and 15 we had pretty much total air dominance until. And then that last 40 minutes, things changed. We started dividing our air up a bit more, and then it seemed that Emerald was just throwing wave after us, and I don't know whether they were supplementing them with infantry platoons when they would do drops or what, but no matter where we'd fight out, we were getting zoned out by more and more air. And that last bit was rough for us, but the first half went really well, and we were able to bomb targets, help our infantry push and hold the line, as well as zone their air out into places where they couldn't hurt ours. But that last half of the match was rough.
Something that that I didn't see and Farah didn't see really from either side was much of that air bombardment. Was that just because the terrain isn't as good for it as say Esamir, where everything is nice and flat, or did you have to find yourself mostly keeping your eyes in the sky, expecting the other server to come and get you?
A little of both, but along with that, I think both sides' infantry was doing a very good job of keeping lock-ons on all their heavies, and so air bombardment couldn't be really maintained for long periods of time. And along with that, the way we were using our libs for Connery is they'd be in for about 30 seconds, wipe out whatever elements of armor, and then we were moving them to a different location.
All right, and Krunk from Prey, I believe, is the air lead for Emerald.
It's QRY.
Okay. So, how did you feel from an air perspective that the match went for Emerald? You just heard Ironroyd say that they felt that Connery had domination most of the beginning, but lost it at the end there. What did you change your strategy? Did you change how many people you had in the air?
Yeah, it was interesting in the air because a lot of the ground fights we couldn't really get at, and for the first chunk of the match, Connery had the ascent pretty much under their entire control, which they were able to keep their air above and then just roll over either to the north or south. So it took a little while to get that under control, and then they were kind of up there. But once we were able to actually get them off the ascent, they never really kind of recouped from it, and we were able to just kind of overwhelm them from multiple sides. They did get us one good time, though, with a flank, but other than that, we were just trying to stay around them and keep them contained into one group.
Did you keep pretty much the same people in the air all the time, or did you move some people into the air that didn't start there by the end of the match?
No, we had the same group that was up the entire time. We didn't really rotate anything. The only thing that we did was we had our lib teams cycling ESFs with our ESF pilots to keep them up at all times. So, and we had all of our squads were working as independent pods, so they were all keeping each other fully up. So it was pretty solid wave after wave that we were able to keep going.
All right. A question to all the reps and the leads. How did 288 feel? This is the first time we've done specifically 288. How did Amerish feel, and how did 288 feel?
It's a little interesting organizing, but it's definitely fun.
Rephrase the question. If you were to have a tournament in at the end of September, would you want 240 or 288?
I'd probably go with 288 in all honesty.
Yeah, I'd say 288 would be good.
Yeah, I agree with the larger numbers. To answer the second part of the question, though, in terms of geography, I don't think Amerish is the perfect setup right now in terms of location-wise for a neutral starting position, I guess, would be what I would say.
Okay, and we can go into that more afterward. We'll be talking to you guys specifically since you're the first ones to play on the continent. Was there anything that you really liked about the continent, or was everyone pretty meh about it?
I think it's great from an air standpoint, for sure. That'll go on.
Sorry to cut you off there. As far as air goes, it's really interesting because there's individual geographic locations. Like Krunk touched upon how the ascent really gives you control of how fast you can switch from north to south and how difficult that is. And so they adapted by surrounding us bit by bit. And then there's individual geographic locations that change how the battle lays out in Amerish, which is a lot of fun. But at the same time, the warp gate layout doesn't really give fair travel distance to all bases.
All right. Well, just anything you guys want to say to each other before we head off, and then we'll wrap up the interviews here and end the post-game show.
Wait till we have Reavers.
What's that?
Wait till we have Reavers next time.
Oh, okay.
Crunk.
Goddamn size.
I just wanted to say, nice work, Teleron. It was an honor fighting against you.
Yeah, you as well, Jamal. Nice. Congrats on your guys' win. Very tough opponent. Great job, Force Lead.
Thank you. You too, man. It was definitely not an easy win.
All right, guys. We're going to hop down to the streaming channel and wrap this up. Thanks for playing with us.
Well, that's pretty cool. I guess, what was your feelings or your kind of synopsis at the end? It was kind of a little bit back and forth at the beginning. It was a good push for Emerald, and then Connery got back into it, and then they just slowly, by pressure, you'd say Emerald kind of took the game, just constant pressure, and then just won it.
It's something that we see in a lot of these games. If you get the upper hand, if you can hang on to the upper hand long enough, it's just slow attrition. And I don't know whether it's the leads and the players starting to realize, hey, we're not losing this base, we don't have to worry about it, we can push forward, or maybe it's resources, maybe it's just mentally wearing down the other guys, where if you're constantly attacking a base, it's probably a little bit easier from a morale standpoint to constantly be going on the offensive of a base than it is to be like, oh man, we got to go back to that base and save it. Oh, we got to go back to that base and save it. But it's something we've seen, I'd say, in at least 4 matches now, where there's relatively close, but one server's up and ahead, and they keep their lead, and then probably the last 45-30 minutes, it kind of snowballs and gets out of the losing server's control.
Right, so we're going to wrap up here. We'll be back next week. I'll just show you guys here. Next week, we have Briggs versus Connery. Now, depending where you are in the world, it'll be on the 13th or 14th of September. The times are on the stream for everyone involved. This will be a little bit later than our server smash today, by I think it was about 2 hours roughly, or something to that effect. And Briggs will be bringing 240 people, was it?
240 people on the continent of Hosson.
Well, there you go. So Connor will be back. They'll be playing the Australians, or basically Pacific players, and that will be on Hosson, yes?
It'll be on the full continent of Hosson, so very much like our first Hosson test match. It'll be very, very similar to that.
I think I can actually bring that up by looking at the Hosson map. This is the map we'll be playing on Hosson. I think this is accurate. So we'll be looking forward to that. I think actually construction site beta needs to be neutral. It needs to be purple. But apart from that, this is the map we'll probably be playing on. And I will look forward to it and see if this, this will be Briggs' first server smash. Did you say it was like a quarter of their player base?
I think that they peak their population on most days somewhere around 600, 700, 700 depending. So 240 people to bring is a significant portion of their active player base, yes.
Nice. So I guess today we were testing the Amerish, so we welcome your feedback on the Reddit. What did you like about the cast? What did you not like about the cast? What did you like about the map, the battles, the things you think might go better or change differently? That was a nice Galaxy RAM in the background. Let us know, because we'd like to take feedback on board. Next week we're basically doing a game for Briggs. We're just playing on Hosson. We're trying that out, and then at the end of September the 27th, we'll be starting our Server Smash tournament, which we will release the official details I think tomorrow. We're going to basically release the play dates, what server plays who and on what map. So that will all come out tomorrow to give you guys plenty of time to prep. So you guys just check out our Server Smash Reddit for more details, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We certainly enjoyed casting it, and we'll see you next week.